everybody. I am Terry Schwartz, and we are here at IGN Live at Comic-Con. Sitting next to me is a cast of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Colin, Catherine, Dan, and Allison, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
Having us.
Now, I love the world of Harry Potter. I love the world that J.K. Rowling creates. And it's so exciting for me to see a whole new side of the world. What can you guys talk about, sort of the authenticity that having J.K. Rowling write your script is bringing to this story that you're telling about the wizarding world?
I mean, obviously, having birthed those first, the books, and then as a result of that, the movies, her imagination is world known as being so kind of prolific, and her writing is so beautifully descriptive, and the logic that she creates that surrounds these universes, whether it's the Potter universe or this story, which takes place about 80 years before the Potter universe, is just so gorgeous to be involved in and close to. I mean, when I read the script, it really does transport you instantly. And then we got to the set and saw the production design and the stages that were built and the props and the costume and every single detail. We were working with an incredible bunch of people, and it felt like a really big, fancy collaboration, but everyone was so at the top of their game. You'd work on a set, and if you'd go into the corner that the camera will never see, parts of the set that you know will never be in the film, and there was details, and props that were specific to the time period that the film is set, which is in the 20s, and it was just, she's got a pretty powerful imagination, that woman. It was great to be part of it.
It's exciting to be a part of this legacy, but in a way where we're really introducing something new to the audience. They haven't read the book, so and that was just exciting too, to just be the first people to get to read this new story.
It means nobody can say that wasn't how I imagined the character.
Exactly.
This wasn't the way that I perceived your characters. What was the moment for you guys? Dan, I know you're playing a no-mage, and not a muggle, a no-mage in the story, but the rest of you are wizards.
I'm a magical person.
You're a magical being in real life. Yes.
A magical person with no magical powers.
What was the moment for you guys when you're talking about this incredible production value? What was the moment when you were like, oh wow, this is a magical world that I am in, and I get to bring this to life?
Wasn't it from the get-go?
Yeah, I feel that as Dan Fogler, being involved with this project.
I mean, even just getting an email that says wand options
school.
or something, at the top, and then you see they let us all pick our own wands, so even long before we were even on the sets, we were really in deep, pretty deep. But also getting to the sets, one of the things that's most amazing, I've got a hair in my eye, about these sets is how they're detailed with the art direction, and every little piece in detail. They're all incredible, but it's also the scale of the entire set, the choreography of the extras. There was one day on set, I remember, we were walking you across the street because you weren't feeling so good in the scene.
Right.
And I looked to my left, and there was a fire hydrant. Model T Ford crashed into it. A mechanic fixing the wheel of the car, and all of this around us to just make us feel more like we're in this reality.
Sounds like some strange Lego set come alive.
Exactly, and if you're on a smaller film, you don't get that. They just keep the shot tight. You don't. But it's so. That was pretty amazing. I felt like it was the 50s.
You walk down the street and just on the same detail tip, like you can go, it's not just the storefronts. You walk in and it's a complete
There's a real
restaurant.
store in there.
Like you're waiting for the waiters to come out and serve you. It's incredible.
Well, also as a fan, too, of the world, of the Harry Potter world, like we didn't get to live in that world, but then this world is equally magical, but it's different because it's America and it's the 20s, so it has a completely different feeling. And you feel like you can really, as a fan of the books, you read about these extraordinary places and you just wish you could go and visit, and then to actually be able to go into MACUSA or be able to go into these different places that they've created. It's just like...
Just to have the practical sets, because I mean, there will be a lot of special effects, and there was CGIs in the creation of the beasts and stuff, but a lot of the actual sets and the immediate environments where the stories were being told were all practically built, and it was just amazing. It was so,
The wand cleaner.
Everyone else watching incredibly jealous because we're like, we want that too.
Well, you can see the film, and at least you can experience that.
Now, something that we know a little bit about the plot. We know that Newt comes to America, and his suitcase of Fantastic Beasts is set upon New York. But something we don't know too much about is what sort of the antagonist or the villain is in the movie. And obviously, in Harry Potter, Voldemort is sort of like, he's your Sauron. He's your big bad to to defeat all big bads. What can you say about the threats in Fantastic Beasts and how nothing at all?
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, I'm sure if you watch the film, you could choose various levels of villainy that may exude from various characters, either born of the way they carry themselves or the events that they kind of create. But it doesn't feel like there's a villain in this one. It's a
think
fairly emotional story, and I think
Yeah.
if there's any villainy, it's kind of social behavior
Yeah.
and judgment and exclusion
And-
and
yeah.
segregation.
Yes,
absolutely.
And the fear of the Muggles or the No-Maj is finding out the beasts being released in the city is that's a no-no in the American world, and that's a huge threat that could ruin everything as far as their whole magical
Way of life.
way of life goes. And
So there's also sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry, we're so nerdy and excited.
No, we can't wait to see.
There's also one other thing we love
more
about
it.
this picture.
And you guys have all the secrets, and we're gonna find out so much more about them as the months
you
go
enjoy it.
on. We're close to the premiere, November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
November is when we can.
17th, 18th, 17th?
2019.
2019. We have a
Really
long
long
time to
lead.
wait until then. We'll be returning to J.K. Rowling's Magical Wizarding World soon for all things Fantastic Beasts and Comic-Con. Stay with us here at IGN.